We're excited this morning. Friend of the show and just a dynamic leader extraordinaire, Senator Nina Turner is with us this morning. Sister Turner, have you had a chance to, I know you're campaigning, have you had a chance to watch any of the proceedings or the clips of Ketanji Brown Jackson? And how have you been able to process seeing a Black woman at the height of her professionalism have to deal with the drivel that she's been given by some of these Republican senators?
Oh, no, I absolutely had a chance to watch much of it, made that time to do that. And it was insulting. It definitely hurt. And you know what? The Democrat, even though she is going to be confirmed, she will be Justice Ketanji Brown. You better believe that. And all them fools, another set of fools, and they're challenging her from Rubio to Lindsey. You know, it's one thing to ask questions. It is another thing to do what they did to her. And she did handle it. But as a lot of people are saying, we sick and tired of Black women, especially having to just handle things, grace under pressure. She was all of that because she is all of that. There's a however. Those Democrats in that committee should have went ham on the Republicans as soon as they stepped out of place. You know how Big Mama used to do. At least my mama. I remember my mama being in a store one day, and one of my siblings was acting out, and she went to the belt department and she told the lady, "I just want to borrow this. I ain't buying it.
That's it. I just borrow it for a little bit.
I just want to borrow it. Yeah, I just want to borrow it." So yeah, they should have went ham on those fools. I hate that she had to go through that and not have backup. She didn't have the requisite backup because too many Democrats are trying to be dignified in situations where it ain't time to clutch the pearls. It's time to take them suckers off.
That's right. Dr. Mack, that goes right to what we were just talking about, right? So we have this thing, I don't know if it's culturally or it's human nature to want to be kind, but we're going to have to turn on a dime because, to be quite honest with you, while she is going to be confirmed, right? Well, she is going to be confirmed, as you can see on the screen, with bipartisan support. According to The Guardian, Maine Senator Susan Collins is going to cross the line and vote for her. Ted Cruz is afraid that Mitt Romney is going to vote for her and get her confirmed. She's going to be confirmed. But I'm with Senator Turner. I feel like there should be more fight in our leaders when it comes to this kind of situation. What are your thoughts, Dr. Mack?
Well, Ben, again, that's what we talked about earlier. There's this, that is the advantage. If there's an advantage to the Republican side, it is their lack of a moral compass, it's their lack of consciousness that'll enable them to do whatever, say whatever it takes to make their point. They don't care about fairness. And so to Senator Turner's point, what I basically did, Ben, at the end of the show, I said, it comes a time when you have to take this tie off. And even if I got a white suit on, if we got to get in that pig pen, I'm all about that business. And again, even when we look historically at what has happened to Black women, when I watched Judge Jackson under Grace deal with that situation, Ben, I flash back, and Sister Turner, Sister Ford, I flash back to Anita Hill. When I watched that sister under fire, just hold up in a phenomenal way. It took me back to Bill Clinton when Lonnie Guinier was talking about in her writing of voter suppression. And now the knuckleheads on the Republican side, the idiots on the Republican side want to now call her a quota queen. But the very things she was writing about are the very same issues we're talking about. And Bill Clinton is supposed to be down with Black folks, the first quote unquote Black president. What did he do? Like all the rest of them, he turned his back. He did exactly what Malcolm said. Malcolm said the most disrespected person in America is the Black woman. Unappreciated, the most unprotected. And what did Clinton do? The supposedly I'm down with Black folks do. In addition to signing the 3 strikes bill, he left that sister out and withdrew his nomination, calling her unpatriotic. I still remember you, Clinton. And for me, that's your 4th damn strike.
I hear that. I hear that. Sister Ford.
I know we talked about this before as well, but, I think it speaks volumes to Ketanji's character, and why she is the best candidate for the seat. Unfortunately, there is a culture now within our government that continues to allows us to persist. And it's toxic and it's very unpatriarchy. And I don't know where we truly go from here. How do we root that culture out of our government? It seems as though, it's been there probably since the inception of our country, but it has really started to rear its face since Trump. And I can't help even but think, we've talked so much about the slap at the Oscars, and there's a portion of our community that looks at Will now as this man who committed assault and, should be held responsible for his consequence. Yet and still those same people will look at those white folks who stormed the Capitol on January 6th as patriots. And so how has our perception of what it means to be a patriot, how has it become so tainted and so jaded that when people are standing up and when they have the ethics and the morality that it takes to hold a position like this, they're still subject to this ignorance? To me, it just feels like we have digressed as a culture. Our government to tolerate this type of behavior is so unprofessional. And for these to be the men and women who are in positions of leadership, who are supposed to be representing us, it's really disheartening.
Before I move to this next story, this Senator Turner, if you want to jump in there, because the thing that is troubling to me is that we seem to see it. We seem to see the writing on the walls. We seem to see the signals. We notice that there's something wrong with patriotism in this country. We notice that there's a virus. But, I don't know if those that are in power on our side, God bless them. I don't know. The Democrats seem to see the urgency of this moment.
No, they don't see it. And their failure to see it is going to cause a shellacking, to quote the former president at another midterm point during the midterms. You got to give people something they can feel. I know all of us remember the ladies group In Vogue, which was one of my favorites, and one of those songs, giving them something he can feel. Let's replace him with them or the people. We got to give the people something they can feel to let them know the love is real, and that is not happening. It's all of this whispering sweet nothings in people's ear, but they are absolutely doing nothing to change material conditions. And to a point, Ben, that Dr. Mack made about Professor Lonnie Guinier, it made me think about Surgeon General Elders. I think I have her name right. She was the Surgeon General. She was done wrong, too, over a comment that she made and just left out to the wolves. That happens far too many times to black people in general, but black women in particular. And to what Sister Georgia said, all I could say is, amen. I had a few of my friends say we needed some of that Will Smith action in that Senate hearing, figuratively, not physically, but figuratively. Right. We needed some Will Smith action during the hearings for Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. We needed some of that. Yeah.
Senator Turner, I'll say this, given the nastiness of it, I could have done it literally, I'm just.
I should have seen that coming.
I'm trying to be good.
We are not trying to bail you out.
Listen. The thoughts expressed on this show are not accredited to Senator Turner, who's running for office, by the way.